of the disaster by the government and South Korean media, who claimed everyone aboard had been rescued, and against the government for prioritizing public image over the lives of its citizens in refusing help from other countries and publicly downplaying the severity of the disaster. On May 15, 2014, the captain and 3 crew members were charged with murder, while the other 11 members of the crew were indicted for abandoning the ship. An arrest warrant was also issued for Yoo Byung-yoon, the owner of Cheongheejin Marine, but he could not be found despite a nationwide manhunt. On July 22, 2014, police revealed that they had established that a dead man found in a field 415 kilometers (258 miles) south of Seoul was Sewol at a port in Incheon in March 2014, after modifications had been made. At the time of its purchase by Cheongheejin Marine on October 8, 2012, the ship that would come to be known as MV Sewol was 18 years old and dilapidated. It was originally named Ferry Namanu and was operated from 1994 to 2012 as a transport ship for cargo and passengers by the Japanese company A-Line Ferry. According to A-Line Ferry, it did not experience any problems during its service in Japan. After it was purchased, the vessel underwent modifications between October 12, 2012 and February 12, 2013, and was registered by Cheongheejin on October 22, 2012. The modifications were later found to have been based on an illegal redesign of the ship. After these modifications, which included the addition of 2 decks of passenger space and the expansion of the cargo space, Sewol had her gross tonnage increased by 239 tons to 6,825 tons and her passenger capacity increased by 116 people for a total of 956 people including the crew. The modifications resulted in its center of gravity being moved upward by 0.51 meters, 1 foot 8 in, as well as a left-right imbalance. After the modifications were completed, Sewol underwent investigations by the Korean Register of Shipping, KR, including an inclining test, and received the ship inspection certification and the certification for the prevention of sea pollution on February 12, 2013. During the process of approving the modifications, the KR reduced the maximum amount of cargo that could be carried by 1,450 tons to 987 tons, and increased the amount of ballast needed by 1,333 tons, to 1,703 tons. 39. The cargo limits were not known by the Korea Shipping Association, which has the responsibility to manage ferries, or the Korea Coast Guard, KCG, which were responsible for overseeing the Shipping Association. The Board of Audit and Inspection later revealed that the KR's licensing was based on falsified documents. After the inspections, 37 tons of marble were further added to the gallery room at the bridge deck located on the back of the ship. Sewol began operations on March 15, 2013. She made 3 round trips per week from Incheon to Jeju, each one-way voyage of 425 kilometers, 264 miles, taking 13.5 hours to complete. On February 19, 2014, she received an interim inspection and a periodic inspection from the register. It had made the round trip a total of 241 times until the day of the incident. Route of Sewol during the last voyage from Incheon to Jeju, the capsizing location marked by the rectangular speech bubble. On April 15, 2014, Sewol was scheduled to leave the port at Incheon at 6:30 p.m. KST. A fog, which restricted visibility to less than 1 kilometer, 0.62 miles, led the Incheon Vessel Traffic Service, VTS, to issue a low visibility warning around 5:30 p.m., leading the Shipping Association to hold Sewol's departure. The VTS retracted the warning around 8:35 p.m., and the Shipping Association removed the restriction on Sewol's departure after checking the weather conditions with the operator of the Byeongpungdo lighthouse and consulting with the KCG. 34:30 She departed around 9 p.m., and was the only ship to leave port that evening. When Sewol departed, she was carrying 443 passengers, 33 crew members, and a total of 2,142.7 tons of cargo, including 185 cars. Among the 443 passengers were 325 students on a field trip from Danwon High School. 5 passengers were of non-Korean nationality. The ship was commanded by 69-year-old Captain Lee Jun-sok, who had been brought in as a replacement for the regular captain. Lee had over 40 years of experience at sea and had traveled the route before. He was hired on a 1-year contract, with a monthly salary of 2.7 million South Korean won, roughly $2,500. Lee worked with 33 crew members on the journey, of which 19 were irregular, part-time workers. Later investigations discovered problems concerning the state of Sewol at the time of departure. Despite her maximum allowance for 987 tons of cargo, Sewol was carrying (2 to 3 miles, 3.2 to 4.8 kilometers) from entering the Mangol Channel. Park ordered Cho to change the steering system from autopilot to manual steering. When Sewol arrived at the channel at 8:27 a.m. at a course of around 137 degrees, the wind speed was between 4 and 7 meters per second, the wave height about 0.5 meters, and the visibility good. The Mangol Channel has strong underwater currents, which necessitate extreme caution when steering a ship through it. At the time of the incident, conditions were calm and Sewol was following a route that was frequently used. While the wider areas of the channel contain rock hazards and shallow waters, they were not in the immediate vicinity of the ship's usual path. While prosecutors and some news organizations labeled Park as being inexperienced based on her unfamiliarity with the channel, the Korean Maritime Safety Tribunal's investigation report noted that she had on multiple occasions passed through the channel on another ship. As Sewol approached the fatal turn, breakfast was being served in the cafeteria. CCTV data taken at 8:40 a.m. showed students present and socializing on the deck. One surviving passenger, Chun-sun, recalled having gone up to the deck to smoke right before the incident. Multiple turns to the right, 8:48 right before the incident, Park and Cho were standing side by side near the ship's wheel at the bridge. Captain Lee was absent from the bridge at the time. At 8:46 a.m., as Sewol was traveling at a speed of 18 knots, 33 kilometers per hour, 21 miles per hour, at a course of around 136 degrees, Park ordered Cho to change the course from 135 degrees to 140 degrees, which Cho consequently undertook. There are conflicting accounts of what happened next. According to Park's testimony, after she had used the radar to check that Sewol's course was changed and the